Good morning. This is Cindy Lawrence, and I have a special guest here, Ken Ashworth. Welcome, Ken.
Good morning.
How are you doing today?
Really good. How are you doing?
Good.
Good.
Ken,
Good.
tell us a little bit about your company and what you do, and go from there.
I'm a tax attorney here in Las Vegas, and I've been practicing law here in Vegas, I'll say about 32 years, have my own practice. I got a degree, an accounting degree at Southern Utah University. Then I went to Pepperdine University for law school and worked in LA for a while, and then came here, worked for a large accounting firm and then with law firms, and then I decided to put my own firm together, and we specialize in taxation, wills and trusts, and things such as that.
So you have a little bit of experience.
We have a lot of experience. I have way too much. I'm no longer 35 years old. That's for sure.
So you're about 45.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right, good.
Yeah.
So we're here because we're going to discuss wills and trusts, and what's the difference, and why do people need it, and kind of go explain that to the audience.
Mm-hmm. There's a big difference between a will and trust, and the clients come in and talk to me on a daily basis about them, potential new clients or the clients that we have. Everyone needs at least a will, okay? I don't like to do wills per se because generally a will, when you have a large estate or you have an estate, is going to go through probate. And probate is not something that you generally want to go through. Right now it's about a year-long process. We got a new probate commissioner, and as things are gelling for him, he's being able to put everything together. But your assets then, if you do a will, are going to go through a court proceeding, and it's going to take you about a year. A trust, on the other hand, may take a long time, and you still have to do all the taxes and all things. So you got to take into consideration the taxation of everything, which I'm sure we're going to get into. But a trust avoids probate.
So I'm going to stop you here really quick. What I just heard is you get a will, and now I've got to go through a whole year process?
Yeah, about 6 months, about a year process. It could be two. We have some that's probably going to be going on for 2.5 years.
Then, so it really is not protecting me if I'm doing a will.
Well, by protection, you mean asset protection?
Yes.
Well, the family living trust, which is the revocable trust,
right,
okay, also doesn't have any protection, asset protection. You need an irrevocable trust, a Nevada self-settled trust. Those are the ones that do asset protection. But a will doesn't protect you at all. It's a public document that you will lodge with the court 30 days after someone passes away. And then whoever's the trustee, or excuse me, the executor of the trust or executrix of the will, they will in turn hire an attorney and go out and do it. Go out and do the probate, but it has absolutely no asset protection and no protection at all from the public to see what's going on.
So when I do a will and I have a home, let's just talk about real estate because that's what I do.
Mm-hmm.
And
Very well, may I add.
Oh, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
She's done a lot of work for me on that.
Thank you. Thank you. So if I pass and I only have a will, it's going to go to probate. Now I've spent $500 for a will,
mm-hmm.
and it's going to be a year, and then my heirs are going to have to go to you.
Right.
Who is going to be paying all of, say there's a mortgage on the house and I have creditors, who will be paying for that?
Unfortunately, the beneficiaries. They need to come out of pocket for that, or the estate will have to do that. Sometimes you have to get permission from the probate commissioner to get that, but that's going to either be the estate of the deceased person or the beneficiaries of them can pay for it.
And how long does that take to get
that's
my death?
That can take, that's what the probate is, a year. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so you're not even to be able to distribute the assets to the beneficiaries until the judge puts down the gavel or actually signs the document and says, now we're done, after the first and final.
Wow.
So it's a long process, and then as you know, a lot of people want to sell the home during that time.
Correct.
So we have to go back into court, ask the probate commissioner if it's okay to sell, because we can't just sell it out from underneath anybody, because it's go by the will. But the thing is, if we don't have a will, then you go intestate, which is even worse, and you still have probate. Okay, so a will is better than nothing. Okay. Intestate means you don't have a will or a trust, and someone dies and you have 3 children, and the kids are going to get a third, or mom and dad, or whatever it is. So to go through there, so yeah, if you just have a home with the real estate, okay, then you have to get the approval of the probate commissioner. And the problem with that is, again, it takes a little bit while with versus the trust. If we had a trust, we can bypass all that.
So, okay, I pass and I have a trust. What happens?
Well, you're still going to go in and talk to an attorney. It doesn't
Okay.
have to be the one who draws it up. A lot of times that's what it is. So let's just pick on mom and dad.
Okay.
So mom and dad, they pass away, and you've got two children.
Okay.
So whoever's going to be the trustee of the trust is going to come in and say, okay, this is what we've got. What we'll do is we'll sit down and we'll say, because we're CPAs here also, let's discuss the issue of whether or not, who's going to do the final 1040. If they have a good CPA, then we usually stay with them. And then we just go through and then we'd also have a 1041 tax return, which is a deceased person's tax return. You're going to get a 1040 and a 1041.
Okay.
But then we were able to distribute the assets quicker. When my parents passed away, they had a home, which Cindy helped me sell, which was wonderful. I was a trustee of the trust. And at the same time, I had siblings or deceased siblings and their children and that. But we were able to finish the estate probably within about 4 months.
Okay, so there
Done.
is still a time frame, even if you have a trust.
You have work you have to do.
Yes.
There's a lot of work, but you're not waiting for the judge to have to okay everything.
Okay.
And then if you have creditors, it all changes a little bit because you still have to wait for creditors, but you're going to put an ad in the paper, and it's not the review journal. It's another type of thing that the legal community has. So you still have to make sure the creditors are paid at all time. And either one, you're going to be doing that, but probate, they wait longer than does the trust.
Okay. So, well, that's good to know that it's a little bit shorter of period of time.
It's a lot shorter. I mean, you can get it done very quickly with a trust. But yeah, I mean, I can tell you I will generally talk to people about doing a trust more for a will. You can do a will for two people, say $500, $600. The trust is more expensive, but you're still going to get the power of attorneys, which you have to have.
Right.
You need to have that. The one thing I can tell you is this. If you have an estate that is rather large, and what I mean by that is, if you own a home or you have a couple of cars or whatever, do a trust. Don't even think about doing a will, and just put the package together with the power of attorneys, and it's a lot better deal.
It's a lot easier, isn't it, for somebody later on?
It's 100 times easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, and your attorney's fees are going to be generally less.
And it's cost effective, basically, when you do a trust versus a probate, because the probate is so extended and there's so many other paperwork that needs to be filed on that. Wow.
And the thing is because all across the board, you still have the IRS you're going to think about. And so you're still going to be doing the 1040s and 1041s. So that's what that is. Always be concerned about the IRS. That's why I tell people, it's one reason why we're here. We like to hire people who have the accounting degree. And that's the reason why. Because if you think the IRS is not going to be involved when you pass away, you're wrong. The IRS is very involved.
Because there's a lot of filings that need to be done for the deceased person.
1040, 1041s, up to 70, all the tax returns have to be filed,
Oh, wow. So there's quite a bit of things that need to be
Right,
handled.
a lot there, yes.
Upon somebody's passing.
Yeah.
And a will's just a little
Well, the will's
piece of
that,
it.
but what you do, a lot of times what we do as attorneys, we'll sit there, so somebody else usually they'll stay with their CPAs. People stay with their CPAs a long time, as you well know. And they do that, and so what we'll do is we'll work with the CPAs. They prepare the returns, and we just get the information, and away we go. But a good CPA is worth
We'll get everything done for you. So what's the best way people can reach you, Ken?
Again, my phone number is 702-893-9500. Call up, and the person who handles my calendar is Cindy, and ask for her.
Oh, not this Cindy,
Not
by
this
the way.
Cindy, no.
And you can reach me at 702-338-8480. Thanks, you guys, for watching.